So much soy last week. After the trade talks between the U.S. and China, China suddenly opened the purse strings and snapped up 2 million tons of U.S. soybeans with the promise of buying an eventual 5 million tons. This ahead of the Trump-Xi summit, which, according to the South China Morning Post, will be held in Vietnam on February 27th and 28th. March 1st, as you all know, because you watch Countdown to the Closing Bell, and we remind you of this, is the deadline when tariffs on China are set to increase if there is no firm deal. Joining us now to talk about it all in a Fox Business exclusive is somebody who knows a lot about two things: grain and trade. Former Kellogg CEO and former Commerce Secretary Carlos Gutierrez. Good to see you, Secretary.
Nice seeing you, Liz.
Considering the Chinese purchase more than 30 million metric tons annually, let's talk about the 2 million that they've promised to buy. I think they have purchased it so far, and what that really means.
Yeah, you know, I think that President Trump appropriately downplayed this by calling it a goodwill gesture, which is really all it is. It's a very small amount in the context of our exports and our industry. Illinois produces 18 million tons. So,
wow,
you know,
Illinois alone.
Illinois alone. And so this Chinese purchase, it is a goodwill gesture, but it will not solve the problem for the industry. And again, you know, trade isn't like a light switch. You can turn it on and off. The soybean industry has been impacted for years to come. Inventories are very large. The prices are down. They're up, you know, in the recent days because of Chinese pledge to purchase, but they're half what they were before the trade war. China, in the meantime, has found new suppliers. So a lot of change has been created that will take more to fix than just one big purchase.
I'm glad you brought up what China has done. During the worst parts of the trade war, China turned to Brazil and Argentina. It was interesting, when we were in Argentina in November for the G20 summit, Argentina had to kind of tamp down its excitement about the fact that the trade war actually was excellent for its own farmers. What are the pricing differences? If China has found equal soybeans for less than what the U.S. charges, could they just simply stick with Argentina?
Absolutely. I mean, and you know, a lot of it depends on freight and depends on what Argentina is willing to do. But yes, this is the risk. And the other thing that's happening, and I've heard President Xi Jinping say this, that this has taught them that they have to diversify their supply.
Oh.
So I think strategically they want to diversify their supply away from the U.S. to not have all their eggs in one basket. So, yes, this is going to have repercussions for years.
To the talks, do you think they're cutting it just a little bit too close? End of February, when the new tariffs are supposed to kick in March 1st, to me, that actually benefits President Trump and his negotiating style.
Well, you know, here's the thing, is the tariffs, as you say, we have 24 days to get a deal. My understanding is that they're still agreeing to the negotiating text. So they haven't really agreed what they're negotiating. And after that, they've got 24 days to negotiate it. President Xi told President Trump that this is going to be a comprehensive deal, which the president liked. The problem with comprehensive is the more comprehensive it gets, the longer it takes to negotiate. So there's some agreement on perhaps market access, on China buying more goods and services, manufacturing equipment. They've agreed to that. The big problem is going to be the structural issues.
Theft, absolutely.
And that cannot be solved in 24 days.
Do you get a sense tomorrow night that the president will focus on the trade war, or is he going to go, if you could imagine what he might say, because we don't know, but really go all southern border here?
I believe that he will focus on the trade war. I believe he will point to progress on soybeans and progress on other things, his relationship with President Xi, and I think he will try to put a good face on this. No doubt about that.
Tomorrow night, big night.
And also the immigration and the wall, which is, I think we have so many national emergencies to say that's our biggest one, but that's the president's call. We'll hear what he says.
Carlos Gutierrez, lovely to have you.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Thank you so much.